Hi students, a hearty welcome to you once again to this online mode of learning. We have already finished the first lesson. I hope all of you have gone through it and you have understood. Let's go over to the second unit of our syllabus, the second lesson, which happens to be a poem. And the name of the poem is very much related to you. And the topic that we discuss, and especially the crux of the discussion, will be very much interesting because it is related to you and it is concerned or it would touch you somewhere. And I'm sure I want you to think about it and it would make you to think as well. Before I get into the actual poem, I would like to give a bit of knowledge about William Blake, the poet who has written this poem. The name of the poem is The Schoolboy. Well, it is a poem belonging to 18th century, beginning of end of 18th century and the beginning of 19th century, written by William Blake. In fact, this man was an artist more than a literary person. In fact, he was a literary person, he was a poet, but he would have been very happy if he was called as an artist than a poet, because he had his little formal education. See, I'm using one word here, formal education. We will discuss about it. Where? In the Royal Academy of Arts in London, okay, in Europe, he had it. But nevertheless, he was a poet. See, being a poet, it doesn't happen. It's not like I order something online and I get it, or it's not like I take a tablet and I get it, like, for my muscles to grow. Sometimes I may take some things, some supplements, but to be a poet, it is a gift, and it's a God-given gift. So this man had it in his blood. So he was very much interested in arts as well. So in the process of becoming an artist, well, he nurtured also his poetic talents. And he has written plenty of literary works. For example, he has written a series of finest work as an artist in the series, where inventions to the book of Job. Now, this book of Job is nothing special. It's a book from the Holy Bible. Holy Bible has got two parts, Old Testament and the New Testament. And this book of Job, containing around 32 chapters, you will find this book of Job. It's a beautiful story on a just man called Job. Okay, Job, J-O-B, who completely trusts in the Lord. And he was tested by the Satan, because he was a man of God. And at the end, Satan tests him. He takes away everything from him, his own children, his sons and his daughters and his belongings, livestock, everything was taken away. But Job completely trusts the Lord. At the end of the book, you will understand that God tells him, you are nobody to question me. I can do anything in your life. And sometimes it happens even in our life as well. Our life has got many questions, and especially when certain things happen in our life, we question God and God doesn't give us an answer. And when we find an answer, God changes the question. You get it? When we find an answer for certain questions, God changes the question itself. And this fact we realize in this book of Job. If you get somewhere, catch hold of it and you will understand it. It's a beautiful literary work. And he has also written many poems, or his poetry, the collections are known as poetical sketches, then songs of innocence, marriage of heaven and hell. It would be quite interesting to read that book. And then songs of experience. Now this particular poem, The Schoolboy, is taken from the songs of experience. This is very important. You will understand when you read this poem. I'm sure this poem has come out of his experience. Songs of experience. The poem must have come out of his experience, because throughout the poem we find a boy narrating his experience. Boy confiding his own fears, his own apprehensions, and in an open way to the readers and to all of us. So it's very important that we go through the poem and we understand. And at the end of the poem, all of you would identify yourself with this poem. Many of you, in fact, if you pay attention, you will identify with this boy and you will feel for the boy and you want the world to feel for you. And this poem has come, or we are studying this poem at an appropriate time. The new education policy has been declared, though it is not yet implemented. But this poem, we can understand this poem at the background of this new education policy as well. So I think let's go through the poem, and as we go through the poem, I will have some discussion about this education. And before I could get actually into the actual study of this poem, I want all of you to understand certain concepts in education. What are those concepts? Let's go through these concepts, and we also understand these concepts that will help us to understand the poem very much. Which are the concepts? Well, you can see here in the slide there are three concepts that I would like to highlight. What is that? The first concept is formal education. Formal education. What do I mean by formal education? Okay, right. Formal education, an education delivered by trained teachers in a systematic and intentional way within an institutional setup. To put it in one word, what all of us are undergoing is a formal education. You see, first standard to 10th standard, then 2 years of PUC, then 3 years of degree. Well, this is a formal education, and there is a curriculum, there is a syllabus. We have got exams, we get certificates. Very formal, very systematic, very structured kind of education. Nobody can say, I would like to get a PUC pass certificate without going to the school. No, not possible. Or I would like to study one physics paper, the other one is history paper. No, it is not possible. The formal education structure is different, and all of us need to undergo it. Second, as opposed to formal education, we have got informal education. Now you know the meaning of formal means systematic, structured. Informal, exactly the opposite. So it says education that occurs, okay, here it is, the education that occurs unintentionally outside the school or structured curriculum. Meaning to say, unlike the formal education, in this kind of education, where in the informal kind of education, we don't go to the school, there isn't syllabus, there isn't timetable. It's about the life lessons that we learn from the everyday events of life. Maybe reading a story, watching a film, or through everyday events of life. Let me take what is happening presently. For example, lot of discussion about drugs, film actors, and other things. I'm sure you must have understood what I would like to say. This informal kind of education is happening through these events that are happening every day in our life. That if I get into this kind of problem, this would be my end. I would end up in a jail. I need not think, things are always in dark, or everything is done in secret, it would never come to light. No, see, things have come out to life. For example, you see a boy riding a bike very, very fast in a, death knell speed, and he meets with an accident, and that is the end of his life. And I learn a lesson for myself that if I don't follow the traffic rules, if I always overspeed, this is going to be my situation. If you find a boy, your own classmate, who doesn't study at all, misses the college, comes from home, doesn't attend the class, always fools everybody, at the end of the year, well, he fails. And I have learned a lesson for myself. I've learned a lesson for myself. You see, this is called informal education, where I get many things, lessons for my life, without a formal structure. Then the third one we go to, what is that? Non-formal education. What do you mean by non-formal education? Education given systematically or intentionally, but outside the school curriculum or syllabus. This doesn't come under the purview of exam. It's a kind of spontaneous learning. Okay, in the school they teach us swimming, they teach us horse riding, some of the international schools, they teach us music. Okay, non-formal education. Or you have got some organizations, clubs, scouts and guides, rangers and rovers, NSS club and NCC club, Red Ribbon club, okay, legal awareness club. We get a lot of education from that. We get we learn so many things. That is a non-formal education. Now, why did I tell you about formal and informal education? This is exactly we are going to discuss in this poem. This poem is about formal and informal education. As I said, this poem is written by William Blake, and the collection of the poem is known as Songs of Experience. So he has written this poem out of his own life experience, where he hated to go to school. He hated to undergo formal education. In fact, he learnt many things outside the formal structure of the school, including his poetry. So he is conveying that. Let us go through and understand this poem, and all of us would enjoy the poem. Let me just read the poem. The poem says, I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what a sweet company. But, but to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. And then, at times, I drooping sit and spend many an anxious hour. Not in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's power, worn through with a dreary shower. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? O father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day by sorrow and care's dismay, how shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy, or bless the mellowing year when the blasts of the winter appear? Yes, very beautiful poem. Okay, let's study it. First, what does the boy love to do? Okay, first, he loves to rise on a summer morning. I'm sure this boy is not from Karwar. We Karwarians, we do not want to get up early in the morning. Okay, many of you come late. Why got up late? Some of you asked, why didn't you attend the online class today? I slept late yesterday night. No way you are justified. But this boy says, I love to rise on a summer morning. Now, this summer morning, we will understand the meaning of this summer morning later. Okay, why? What are the other things that he loves? I love to rise on a summer morning when the birds sing on every tree. Have you any time heard a bird singing on a tree? Because usually today, the moment we get up, the first thing we see is our mobile. How many messages have I got? Isn't it? But this boy says, I love to rise on a summer morning and listen to the birds singing. You see, today we have no time to listen because we are in a noisy world, very noisy world. And the one noise that always disturbs us is our phone ringing, cell phone ringing, or the messages beeping. These are the sounds that we are distracted. This boy says, well, I love to listen to the birds singing. Second, when the hunter winds his horn, meaning to say, the hunter, when he goes to hunt, he horns, he sounds the horn, he blows the horn so that he knows where are the birds because suddenly they run. They cannot, and he can very well place them. Well, this is the place where this bird is there or this animal is there. So he says, I would like to see that when the hunter winds his horn, and then when the skylark sings with me. And all this together, he calls it's a sweet company. He doesn't say my company of my friends going on a bike on a dead nail speed, that's my company. He doesn't say going and sitting on a bridge and chatting or playing PUBG, that's my company. He says, my company, I want to be in the company of the birds that are singing. I want to be in the company of the hunter who is blowing his horn. I want to be in the company of the skylark which sings so beautifully, to the content of its soul. And the boy loves to do these things when? On a summer morning. On a summer morning, okay? He wants to get up early in the morning and he wants to enjoy all these things. We get up sometimes 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Well, what do we know about the morning beauty? What do we know about the sunrise? What do we know about the birds chirping? We do not know at all. But this man knows the beauty of the nature. Okay, let's go to the okay. What he wants, you see, when the birds sing on every tree. Okay, when the hunter winds his horn and when the skylark sings, I just want to be in their company. That's why I would like to get up on a summer morning. Fine. The first paragraph tells us what the boy wants to do or what he likes to do. Let's go to the second poem. The actual problem comes up here. What is the problem? But to go to school on a summer morn. Yeah, this is where the problem lies. I don't want to go to the school on a summer morning. Why does this boy say he doesn't want to go to the school? Why he hates to go to the school? The reason is given there because it drives away my joy. He says, going to school, well, it makes me unhappy. It makes me uncomfortable. It takes away, it squeezes all my joy. What is the reason? Reason is given there. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little one spent the day in sighing or dismay. Well, in the school where he has to sit under a cruel eyes. What does the cruel eye refer to? Cruel eye is referred to the teacher. Maybe the teacher is very strict. Maybe the teacher is very kind of violent teacher, very strict teacher all the time with the stick and other things. And he says, I don't want to sit there sighing in dismay, in surprise. What is going to happen next? Will I be caught? Will I be beaten up? Will I be, just expelled from the class? Will I be asked for homework? Will I be asked to deliver certain things by heart? He's worried. And he says, well, those eyes, they are cruel eyes. You see, I'm sure what kind of teacher he had. Maybe this teacher was very cruel. In fact, we say Guru Devo Bhava, teacher is like God. The teacher should, the eyes should have radiate the love and concern for the child. That is a great teacher. Okay, so but the boy who saw, or the eyes which this boy saw, withheld, they were very cruel. One thing you must remember, boys and girls, our eyes, they never tell lies, or our face is the index of the mind. So eyes always tell what it is. So if I'm a very strict person, it is seen in my eyes. If I'm a loving person, it is seen in my eyes. For example, go home and look at the eyes of your mother. What can you see there? Nothing else other than love. Go home and look at the eyes of your dad, your father. What will you see there? Nothing else but the love, the concern, the care in his eyes. But this boy, when he saw, or when he used to see the eyes of his teacher, he would find only cruelty there. He would find only violence there. And says, I hate to go to school because I cannot even breathe there. And he says, then at times I drooping said, well, I have to, just paint and droopingly. Drooping means I cannot be very active there. I have to be very sad and I have to sit there. I will show you certain images. Okay. He says, I have to sit there worried. I have to sit there frightened position. I am really worried. Drooping, I sit. And what he says then, I have to spend anxious hours. I told you the anxiety of being caught, anxiety of being or getting punished by the teacher, anxiety of not understanding the things, anxiety of doing something which he doesn't want to do. He says, anxiously I have to spend there. Then he says, then again he complains, when I am like this, can I go and take delight somewhere? How can I give a, escape from the reality, hard reality? He says, nor in my book can I take delight. I can't go and open a book and find beautiful pictures and stories. No, I do not understand what they teach me. What do they teach me? They teach me algebra. They teach me arithmetic. They teach me biology. They teach me physics. They teach me chemistry, the Newton's law, and a plus b plus c whole cubed or square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. E is equal to mc square. Things, they just fly away from my head. I don't want to sit there. I'm sure you must have gone through, or you must have viewed the movie Three Idiots. Okay, or you must have seen even Thare Zameen Par, where that boy goes to the school and all the mathematical formulae, they just hang in front of him because he doesn't understand. That boy doesn't want to go to the school, but he's forced to go to the school. He's compared to others. This is what is happening in the school. And boy says, I don't want to go to that particular school. I cannot delight in my books. I don't like because I have to study something that I don't like. And he says further, well, nor in my learning's bower can I sit. This is a metaphor used there. What do you mean by the learning's power? Actually, this word power stands for, let's take it as a workplace or a room where all the things are available. It's kind of workstation where things are available. Or like you have a PlayStation where all the things are available there, power. So learning's power, meaning to say where learning takes place, where all the kind of knowledge is available for you. He says, I can't sit in the learning's power. Usually when it is usually students, when it is especially a workshop period, workshop means where you do the things practically, you enjoy doing it because skill is involved. But school, he says, it is not a learning power. Well, I don't enjoy being in a school. And further he says, on through with the dryery shower. What do you mean by dryery shower? Okay, shower usually, it enlivens us. Shower brings back the life. But he says, well, this is a dryery shower. It's like traveling in a desert because everywhere it is very, very warm. Underneath, the sand is very warm, and above the head, the sun is very hot, and everything is very warm. You don't enjoy that. Don't enjoy. It's very, very difficult. He says, school has become something like a dryery shower. Can you understand in one word what is the boy trying to tell? I don't want to go to the school because I don't like what is happening in the school. I don't like what is happening in the school. Isn't it true also in our case? Okay, now you are in PUC first year. You have chosen a science stream. You have chosen commerce stream. You have chosen art stream. Maybe some of you were forced by your parents to take up science. Some of you are forced because your cousin is an engineer and you were asked to be an engineer. You didn't want to be, but your cousin, and they're all in high-fi life, so you are forced to be like that. And you have taken up because your mom wants you to be an engineer. You are going to be like this particular boy. That's why I said you will like this poem because you will identify yourself. This boy doesn't want what is happening. I must tell you here about new education policy where in the days to come, when it is implemented, you will have a freedom. Even if you are a science student, if you are interested in history, you can understand, you can take up history study. Even if you are an art student, if you are interested in maths, you can take up maths and study. Such an offer is going to come if the policy is implemented. Hope it will be implemented soon. Okay, let's go further. Otherwise, we can discuss a lot on this. Now see, till now the boy went on complaining why he doesn't want to go to the school. Now he has got a philosophical question. The boy seems to be very, very, experienced, very intelligent boy. See the questions that he's posing now. Genuine complaints of the boy. What is that? How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Now imagine, where are the birds supposed to be? Where are they supposed to be? They are supposed to be in the forest. And what is their nature? They jump from one tree to the other. They go, they eat the flower, they eat the tender birds, and they enjoy their life. They enjoy their life. But imagine you catch a bird and bring it home and put it in a cage and feed it. Will the bird really enjoy the freedom? No, it doesn't enjoy. Can the bird sing happily? No, because it is provided artificial food. Some of you may even feed your bird with some kurkure and other things. It may enjoy it, but not the actual freedom which it would have enjoyed in the freedom of the forest. So the boy is giving you an analogy. Is asking, a bird is supposed to be in the forest and enjoy the freedom, and you put it in the cage, how can it sing? In fact, what is he telling? He's comparing himself to that bird. He's telling, I am a boy, I'm supposed to enjoy myself in the company of that bird. I'm supposed to enjoy my life in the company of that huntsman. I'm supposed to enjoy my life in the company of the skylark singing. And you have brought me to this school. That too under this cruel eye I have to sit. That too I have to remain in this learning power. Should I undergo this dreary shower of studying the subject which I don't like? Exam that I have to write, competitions, not competitions, things that I have to do, notes that I have to submit. I don't like this. My situation has become like the bird which is put in a cage, and he's asking, how can the bird have this joy? Second question is asking, how can a child, when fears annoy, but droop its tender wing and forget his youthful spring? See, a childhood supposed to be, full of experience and joyful experience. Joyful experience. Now the boy is questioning, when fears annoy, when fears disturb, what are the fears? Fears of passing the exam, fears of getting high marks, fears of being compared with the other, fear of failing in the exam, fear of being punished by the teacher. There are so many fears the boy is undergoing in the school. And he's telling, when so many things heavily are burdened upon me, how can I enjoy my youthful spring? How can I enjoy my life? Can I go out and play with my friends? My mama calls me, go for the tuition. When I want to sit with and play some computer games, dad comes and says, don't play, it is not good, it's not good. Yeah. When I want to go out for a cycling, a long drive with my friends, for a trekking, and for other purpose, no, I am not allowed because I have to finish my physics, I have to finish my chemistry. Now, all of you PUC students, science students, you know very well. Okay, what is that? You have to go for tuitions, JEE, CET, and AEEE, so many things, and you have forgotten to be the real boys and girls. You have forgotten to enjoy your life, and it will happen to you. Whenever I look at you, I feel so upset because you sit drooping, because the tension is there in your mind. Will I get, what is my percentage going to be? Will I get admission into that college or this college? When are you going to enjoy your life? I am not telling you something wrong. What I am telling you is we are giving more importance to, or there is an imbalance in our growth. There is an imbalance in our growth. And you can imagine the boy tells further. I say study is important, but there are also other things which are also very, very important. Going and mixing with the friends, talking to them, coming to know their problems, going and learning the things outside in the society, enjoying the beauty of the forest. These things are also very, very important. We have become heavily burdened only with study, which is not right, which is not right. And the boy says, well, he is now directly asking this question. A bird born for joy cannot sit in a cage, I told you. A child, when annoyed, cannot forgo his youthfulness. He says, my youthfulness, my life is very, very important for me, but I have forgotten to be a child. Just imagine LKG boy or a girl going for tuitions in the evening soon after the school. What tuitions does it require? LKG, I just saw in the newspaper where a particular school, gives a big advertisement in the newspaper. What is that? Graduation ceremony, convocation ceremony for whom? LKG students. Their photographs given, and 99%, 98%. What are the subjects that you have studied? Why did you have an exam for them? Are they able to write? You see, we never understand. The situation is such, the formal education system, okay, has brought us to this level, and the boy is questioning how is it possible. Now go further. The boy is very strong, and he is questioning his own father and mother. Okay, further images of unhappiness. What is he telling? Oh, father and mother. He's calling out his parents. He's telling, you are the reason. You are spoiling my childhood. Father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day by sorrow and care's dismay, how shall the summer arise in joy? See the question, it's not easy to answer this question. What is that? Beautiful imagery uses, beautiful analogy uses. Okay, what is it telling? Oh, father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away. Now, can you see this picture here? Okay, it's here. Okay, bird, you go and nip that bird, you go and cut that bird. Do you have, or are you going to get a beautiful flower later? No, because you have removed it in the bird itself. Bird itself. Okay, look at this. This bird is thrown away here because it's snipped and thrown. Look at here. Okay, the tender wings are cut. Now the boy is questioning, oh father and mother, if birds are nipped like this, okay, if they have been nipped like this, then what he's telling, and if the tender plants are stripped, look at here, okay, he's telling, if the tender plants are stripped, they're cut, they're broken, and if the tender plants of their joy in the springing day by sorrow and care's dismay, how shall the summer arise in joy? Now, this cutter is the one he's telling, okay, what is that? Sorrow and care's dismay. So the boy is questioning, if you go and do like this, when the summer comes, now connected to summer morning, you rise to, wants to get up early in the morning because that's beautiful time. For you, I can imagine the month of December and January, there's a beautiful season outside, atmosphere is very beautiful, all the trees are full of flowers and fruits appear, it's a beautiful time. Okay, so summer season is very beautiful one. So the boy is questioning here after the winter, because winter is very dangerous, especially in Europe. Winter is very, very bad, very fatal it is. So everybody waits for the summer to come, beautiful everywhere. So the boy is questioning, if you go and remove the birds, okay, and if you nip this way, when the summer comes, the plant will not be full of flowers because birds are already taken. There will not be anything because it is already stripped. Now his boy is telling, I am that bud, or I am that plant from which bud is taken away. Bud refers to my childhood is taken away. He's telling, I am that tender plant from where my tender boughs are just cut away. As you know, it is thrown away on the door. It's me. And he's asking, if that is done, how shall the summer arise in joy? He's telling, how can I grow up very joyfully? How can I grow up very joyfully? You see, this is the reason I think today many of the boys and girls get into vices, bad habits. In spite of being, some of them become terrorists. In spite of being an engineer, doctor, they become terrorists. Why? Somewhere we have lost giving them right education. We have taught them to be intelligent terrorists. We have taught them to be a devil. We have taught them to be an engineer where he uses his engineering technology to do something bad. We have taught them to be a doctor where he uses his medical knowledge to steal somebody's kidney. We have taught him to be a lawyer where he uses his legal mind to make a culprit go free and an innocent person get caught up. Not all, at least many of them. And that's what the boy is questioning here. How shall the summer arise in joy? Or the summer's fruits appear. Now you have taken away the plant, you have taken those tender wings, plants, tender birds you have taken away, you have cut them. Can there be fruits? No, it's not possible. He's comparing, he's asking the life, what will be my later life? If in my childhood itself it is my situation is like this, what will be my later life? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy, or bless the mellowing year when the blasts of the winter appear? So he's asking a question once again. When the winter appears, meaning to say winter, as I told you, in Europe winter is very bad. The temperature goes below zero, much below than zero, and you can't bear it, and you require really strong body. He says, if these things happen in winter, I will completely disappear. Meaning to say, when I grow up, when certain problems appear in my life, what will I do? You know very well. Many of our students commit suicide when there is a minor problem in their life. Why? Because they were not educated properly, or they were only educated to be an engineer. They were educated to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, but not to be a human being. See, today we do have physics, chemistry, maths, and CET and JEE, everything, but we don't have how can I face the problems in my life? What shall I do when something happens to me? What should I do when I fail? All of us are taught to be successful. In fact, parents come and fight with us. Why did my daughter get less marks? Why did my daughter get first place? From LKG to 10th standard he was getting first. Why didn't she get here? My question is, have you taught your daughter, have you taught your son even to fail in life? Or it may not be right, but at least to accept failure in life. Because all cannot succeed, all cannot get first, only one gets the first place. You have to be satisfied with second. Sometimes you have not got the first place, that doesn't mean you are bad. It's very important to learn or teach our students, our children, even to get failed in life, or to rather accept failure in life. Such person can face anything in life, because I do not know what is going to be my future. How strong it is, I have no idea. I may compete, I may be a first rank holder in my school, but when I come to the college, students come from different schools. So I may lose my place. Then should I become depressed in my life? Getting first rank is not the purpose of life. When do I succeed in life? When I have put in 100%. Because everybody puts in 100%. Very fact I have come second doesn't mean I am not first. No, I may not be first when I compare myself to him, but he is different and I am different. I am different. So this is what the boy is questioning. This is what he's asking us. Okay, so the final questions he's asking is, well, can the summer arise in joy? If this is the situation, this is what my life is, well, will I enjoy the summer of my life? Next question, can there be summer fruits? Will I be a successful man in life? Or I read somewhere a person was telling today, our students have become the donkeys which carry a lot of knowledge. Can you understand? A donkey which carries lot of knowledge. Look at LKG children carrying 10 kg bag and going to school. Are we donkeys? Have we become donkeys which are carrying only the knowledge without the life experience? So, how can we gather later in life what is destroyed today? My future is destroyed in my present. Do you get my statement? My future is destroyed in my present. We all enjoyed our childhood. Soon after the school, we ran to the ground and we enjoyed. We played competitions. We played kabaddi, hard games. But today, you are all there playing station. You are there playing PUBG. You do not know how to go and sweat out in the ground. No. One sports day, you cannot take part in any of the activities. You have become delicate darlings. How will you face the summer of your life? When you grow up, when you get married, when you settle in life, when there is a small problem in the family, how will you face it? Will you run and commit suicide? When you go to the office, when you're not able to carry out your responsibility, a lot of pressure on you, tension on you, what are you going to do? Going to jump off from somewhere? No, my dear students. The boy is asking, well, how can I gather what has destroyed my life today? So please remember, yes, we need to prepare ourselves for CET. We need to prepare ourselves for JEE. We need to prepare ourselves for CA and CS and so many courses in the future. But along with that, even other things are very, very important. I need to understand what is my friend suffering from. I need to go and ask why he is not talking to me. I need to ask why he is always sad. I need to ask what is happening outside. What can I learn? I need to read the newspapers. There are so many things. Formal education, important. Non-formal education, informal education, everything is very, very important. With that, I am going to build my life. See, when I eat, I can't eat only one kind of food. I need different kinds of supplements. I need different kinds of vitamins A, B, C. I need D. I need different kinds of everything I need to go. Then I grow firmly well. Otherwise, there will be one-sided growth. One-sided growth. Many of us, our heads have become very heavy. Nothing else. Such an education is not good. The boy is questioning us. That's why he's telling, when the fruits of the summer appear, will there be? Will there be? My life, can I compare my life like this? A joyful. Can I compare my life like this? Can I say I'm like this? Just because I got a job in Microsoft, I am successful in life? Your intention is to make only money. That is not the education. That is not my life. I am not telling you to study. I am telling you to study, give importance, but give importance for other things as well. Other things as well. They don't come. Your childhood will never come again. You remember that poem from Three Idiots? Give me sunshine, give me some life. Once again, I want to go back to my childhood. These things, please remember this and grow as a matured student. Grow as a matured person. Not one-sided growth. Okay, so we can discuss many things, but I think I should stop here. So finally, I have got some questions here. Some things. What is that? This poem is a mirror held up to present education system. This is what I meant when I said formal education and informal education. Because poet William Blake, for him it was a kind of balanced study. Formal less, but informal more. Next year, when you come to second year, we have one person called George Borges or George Boris, who says, I got educated more by my father's library than the school. Meaning to say, informal education was more for him than formal education. Formal education. Look at our own parents. Some of them have not gone to the school, but they are perfect. My dad never got educated, but he had beautiful knowledge of things. How? Informal education. The life had taught him. The life had taught him many lessons. It also speaks about formal and informal education. I told you, the boy hates the formal education and he wants to get informal education. He wants to learn from the lap of the nature. He says today that thing is completely absent. We have got AC room classrooms and we say, oh, great college, there is AC there and everything is structured in front of the computer and online classes. But we have forgotten to learn from the nature. And the boy is telling there are so many things to be learned from the nature. Next year you have one more lesson, Vandana Shiva, where we come to know what are the different things that we can learn from the nature. It speaks about the importance given to nature learning. Okay, I told you. Then it speaks about imposed study material against the will, wish, and mental aptitude of the children. That's also true, isn't it? See, today we don't like, but we have to study them. We don't like, but we have to study them. And the boy says, well, he's asking that same question, how can I enjoy that learning's power? That is referring to school. It is a metaphor for school. He's asking, it is a dry shower. I don't like it. Why should I? Can you eat something which you don't want to eat? If you are not a vegetarian, or if you are a vegetarian person, if you are given non-vegetarian meal, will you enjoy it? You will not enjoy. You will not enjoy. Same thing the boy is questioning. Okay, I don't like to study, but why are you giving me this to study? It speaks about the sorry state of our education. Though poem is written by an European. Of course, we have got the British system of education. This is what I said, the new education policy, hoping that something different would come out. But I do not know when it will be implemented and to what extent it will be implemented. The policy looks good in certain aspects. If that comes, students will have the freedom to study. As I told earlier, even a science student can think of studying sociology, or a commerce student can think of studying something related to arts, or an art student can think of, if he's interested in maths, he can study maths. There are different systems. I hope this thing would come out, this thing would come. Going to the school will not be a burden, and rather we will become all-round students knowing so many things, or at least we will come out of the get-to mentality of thinking that school is the only place where I learn. No. Once again, I would say I am not belittling, or I am not making the present day education as less important, but I am telling you there are many other things that you need to learn. Okay, when things are happening outside, by reading newspaper, by watching TV, by what's happening outside, I need to learn many things, and that will make me a matured person. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, education means man making. Let us remember this and learn. And I hope this particular poem, this particular lesson has helped us to understand, and that we will go and we will learn many things. So thank you.